Hello lovebirds, Tanya TKO here, and this is going to be our last broadcast from this particular studio location. We've actually had a little section carved out in the TKO Skin Loft space. You know what, I'll do a quick roundabout with the camera so you can see. Okay, let's see. So there's the place is cleared out now for the most part. There's the huge naked banner where the phones and the desks and everything, there's the router still left there. The lighting, as we come back around, I have the there's where we had our old partitions. Let me see if I could tilt the camera back. Oh, I can't. You can't. You can't really see, but you know what? I will try. No, cause see if I do too much. Can you see down the hallway? If I do too much, if I do too much, it'll become unplugged, and then the next thing you know, then that'll be the end of the video. So so here we go. And is it? Look, now it's Catty-Wonka. It's like not straight anymore. But basically, oh, if I could get this, that's so funny. Oh Lord, I don't have the time to edit the video, so we're just gonna keep going straight through. Basically, I'm doing this last video sort of as a goodbye. You know, I can't really say exactly for sure. It's not why I'm recording the video. I just felt that it was something that I should do. Because we're leaving, this is going to be the last video, and I wanted to be able to, you know, it's like over the years we have been through so much together. It's been 6.5 years, and there have been so many different changes, ups, downs, ins and outs, and so many of you have grown. You know, it really dawns on me how long 6.5 years is when a person writes to me and they're like, I've been watching you since I was 15. And now I'm 21, or I'm going to be 22 or whatnot. You know, it really like, yeah, I don't want to be emotional. I need to keep it together. I got a little poem that I wanted to read or recite for you all today. Sorry, I was trying to get the camera straight because the last thing I would want for the whole video to be off center. Okay, so one last thing, sorry. I can't get it together. It's together now, don't worry. We're together, okay. All right, last week I sent out a message to people on my mailing list, to specific people on my mailing list. And you know, I was feeling a little overwhelmed with the move. Before I go, I'll show you just what the floor looks like, because it's like, and we took so much stuff. We took a 14-foot van out of here yesterday, and I thought I had thrown away a lot of stuff, but it seems like I need to throw away some more stuff. But nonetheless, last week I was really overwhelmed with a lot of what it is that I have tasked myself to do. You know, it's like, you know what, there's a, wow, I don't know how to even begin describing it, but it's like, I don't want to call it a rabbit hole, but when you start self-exploring, it's like the layers upon layers that you find inside of yourself that you peel back, and it's like, you know, remember like those cartoons of the little Russian dolls, and you would open it and you think that you've gotten to the smallest one, and you just keep opening it, and you just keep, and each doll is more intricate than the last, and more intricate, more fine, more detailed than the last. And I feel like in my life right now, I've been going through so many revelations. Like, you know what, it's like I started out a Christian, and I started asking questions. And when I started asking questions, when I became old enough to ask questions and those questions weren't really answered, I turned from Christianity. I know that a lot of you know what, when I looked at the way Christianity had been applied over the years and is constantly applied in people's lives, and how I didn't feel a fulfillment from that. I turned from Christianity and my life began to change after that. I know some people don't want to hear that because they're really still deeply entrenched in the indoctrination. But I thought at first that I was Buddhist, and I realized I wasn't Buddhist. And then I found my way in spirituality. You know, if you haven't, read the book Conversations with God. That you know, there's no question that is unanswered. You know, like in Christianity, they're like, hush your mouth, don't ask these, just believe. We read Conversations with God, book 1, 2, and 3, and there's no question that isn't answered. If you want to talk about rape and murder and death and what it is and our calling, or quote unquote callings, and what we're doing here, etc., every question is answered. And then it's like, then you get to a different level. You start talking about life between lives, life after lives, reincarnation, universal energy. And right now I just entered into quantum theory, quantum physics, quantum metaphysics, etc. And the way in which, wow, you know what, I wasn't planning on this video becoming that. Look, we've been talking for 6 minutes. But basically what I wanted to, it's all related and it's all relevant in that, you know, the different canals that you journey through in life, and where I am right now, I have really self-discovered so much in the past few months, few weeks, few days, few hours. It's like every day I have a deeper, more fulfilled understanding of myself, what it is that I'm doing here, etc. And I guess that relates to my move in so many different ways. You know, okay, so here we are. We're here with at the TKO Skin area. We're here at the. You have to forgive me. I was moving all day yesterday, and my brain is it's kind of mushy right now. Really, really tired. Not much sleep, and just the consumption. Like right now, a friend of mine is helping me gather things all together back there. You probably didn't see her when I tilted the camera back, but she's back there. And so I just basically, I wanted to, you know what? Let me read the little poem excerpt that I wanted to read. It's called My Wage. I cut this off of this thing. I printed a beautiful banner that was behind my bed here, the little futon that I kept here to sleep on, to help remind me. You know, I had Invictus on one side and My Wage on the other. If you don't know Invictus, look that up. It's a really powerful poem. It's changed my life. But this is My Wage, and it goes, I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is just an employer. He gives you what you ask. But once you've set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for menial hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have gladly paid, or willingly paid, depending on which version of the poem you're reading. But my takeaway, and I've done that poem several times throughout the years in my videos, but my takeaway from that is, you know, we're here on earth, and what it is that we get back out is really reflective of what it is that we ask for. And a lot of us are just kind of wafting through life, asking or begging for a penny, getting the penny and really not getting any more because you only begged for the penny. And so it's like, here I am, I'm moving from the TKO Skin Loft. This will be my last broadcast from Brooklyn. You know, I'm California bound. I'm gonna go check out building a studio in California. I'm also gonna be going to grad school, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have my studio in Hollywood or where, or up in the Bay Area, or how I'm going to do that. But the way in which I've changed from the last video that I made, where I was like really confused, I was closing TKO Skin and I felt as if I had a calling, and I no longer feel as if I have a quote unquote calling, as if there's someone who has ordained me to do anything. I know that the life that I have and how I express my life and how I know that the life that I have is a result of how I have chosen to express myself in this incarnation. You know, I choose to help other people. I choose to express myself, and I choose to hold the space of an empowerment coach. I choose to impart information that I have onto other people. And me going off in search of my talk show is really a satisfying of an inner yearning that I have to express myself as the divine in this life in that way. So I do this because this is what I choose to do, and this is how I choose as a fraction of the divine, for divine to express itself through me in this way. This is my choice. And so if we have choice, you know what, I'm going to say this, and I wouldn't typically say this, but listen, I'm getting ready to leave, and I don't know when I'll be able to make another video, so I want you all to be able to sit with this for a while. I was talking with a friend of mine who is Christian the other day, and she was pretty much talking about all of the circumstances of her life and how, you know, God has given her all of these challenges, etc., etc. God gives good things, and, you know, devil gives bad things, right? When we take the power out of our own hands, when the culpability, or when the responsibility lie outside, lie elsewhere, you know, we absolve ourselves of any responsibility for how our life is taking place. You know, like, her business is not going how she wants it to go. And I asked her, have you thought about how you've participated in how your business has turned out? And she was like, she'd never really thought about that. And the idea, she rejected the idea. And she basically looks elsewhere to place the blame for how things are going. You know, God felt that this should be the right way for it to go. God felt this, God felt that. And I don't personally feel that. And I feel that if you can't take ownership of the good things that you've drawn to yourself, then you can't take responsibility for the bad things or the not so great things that are drawn to you as well. And that leaves you in a very disempowered state, because if you don't know what created or what drew in the not so great things, or if you don't know what created the really great, wonderful things, how do you get more of that? How do you draw in more if you don't realize how it is that you drew it in the first place? If you don't realize what role you play in the embodiment or in the display of your life, then so nonetheless, so where I'm at right now, I feel that this is the only lifetime in which I will know myself as myself in this life. I'll only be Tanya TKO one time. And while I'm in this life, I'm going to the best of my ability, live it to the fullest. And I realized that, just like this little poem had stated, you know, I had been just getting by, not really fully stepping into my dream, just making it, feeling like things were out of my control. And, you know, I talked about this in several videos where I was like, you know, I had to look at myself and see whether or not I was really showing up for myself and how I was showing up. When I looked at my life, I realized that the life that I have is a direct reflection of how I directly contributed to it, how the choices that I have made. And so I realized that I had not been making a phone call each day to a morning show or to radio shows or sending out. I didn't even have a media kit. So it's like, here I am. I'm upset. I didn't have a pitch. I didn't have a bio. I had none of that. At one point, I didn't even have a website. So it's like, here I am, you know, feeling as if I really wanted a certain something, but not really in my action showing up and participating in that something that I claimed that I wanted. So here I am following my heart's calling. I have alleviated myself of all of the things that I felt was tying me down. And so there was a portion of me I talked about this in the beginning of the video. I'd been feeling overwhelmed by the move, and I sent this message out to my mailing list and asked people to call me. I put my number up, and I asked them to call me. If you're not on my mailing list, come over to TanyaTKO.com and join my mailing list. You can get a free copy of my guide entitled Truly Love Yourself and Heal Old Trauma. And so I sent the message out, and people, gosh, how do I put this? I opened it up for people to call me and give me some encouraging words because I really needed it. And people called me and they told me what it is that I have meant to their life. And I'm like, I was taken aback. I was. Because people were talking about how I'd helped them through bad breakups, bad marriage, being single into getting married, bad job, a death, how I'd helped them through so much. Hundreds of people called me. I wasn't able to speak to everyone, but I spoke to a good number of people because the phones were ringing back to back. And I realized, the gift. I realized the gift in allowing people to give. And I realized the gift in receiving. I know the position that I hold as Tanya TKO, and I know the space that I hold, and I know what it is that I do. But when I opened myself up to be the recipient of all of this love, I realized that I had given people the gift of being able to give something. Hold on. I'm not going to get emotional in this video. I'm not. Okay. I realized that I had given people the gift of being able to give me something that I had, or that they felt that I had given to them. And so I opened myself and I allowed myself to receive back from the people whom I had given so much to. And it was so beautiful. I'm sorry. It was so beautiful. I'm sorry. I didn't want to get emotional. But it was so beautiful. It's like, I really feel like we are in this together. That this is not just a one-sided exchange of energy where I put all of this energy back out, but it's like a circle of energy. Energy is never lost, it's only transferred. And so when I needed some encouragement, I couldn't have prepared myself for the outpouring of love, the waterfall, the cascade, the downpour of love that I received. It was beautiful. And I realized the gift in receiving, the gift in allowing people to give. And so here I am. I'm leaving this area and I'm going all in. I'm going all in to fully invest in and participate in my heart's calling of how I'm expressing myself as the divine in this lifetime. And so I'm going to do, and I realize how much people love my TKO skin products. I realize I realize that people want to give, people want to participate, people want to be a part, people want to connect, and I want to connect, and I want us to be together, and I want us to join. I'm going to do a Kickstarter, and in the Kickstarter, I'm going to be raising funds for my studio, get my lips couch, my lighting, the space rental. I'll put all of that in the Kickstarter of what it is that I'm going to be raising funds for. Because you know what, there are a lot of people who feel that the messages that I have need to be given on a wider scale. And I know that there's a beauty and there's a blessing in allowing people to be able to participate and contribute to this dream becoming an actuality. So I'm going to do a Kickstarter. I would love to hear information from you all about what are some things that you would like for me to give away during the Kickstarter. Some of the ideas that I have are Tanya TKO journals. Of course, you know, we're going to start with TKO skin stuff. So I'll do a Kickstarter, and when you donate, you'll get some TKO skin stuff. I'll make like some special batches for that. So TKO skin stuff, a Tanya TKO journal. You know, I'm always talking about journaling. Maybe even some t-shirts. I don't have a t-shirt manufacturer yet, not for high quality t-shirts. So we'll see about that. What else? I was also thinking about, you know, the flower that I wear on my lapel. The flower hides my microphone. Like, you know, the little microphone right here. So the flower hides my microphone, but people seem to really love the flower, so I'm thinking maybe the flower or that. So I would love your ideas. If you can make it to the end of this video, please let me know what are some of your ideas for what it is that you would like for me to give away. Maybe some autographed pictures. I don't know if I should do a naked picture. That might raise too much money. I don't know if they allow that. But you know what, who knows? Let's see. What are some of the things that you would like for me to give away during a Kickstarter? Autographed photos, the flower, the journal, the t-shirts, skin. What else? Can you think of anything else? I was thinking maybe those Japanese letters that I had in the background of my old set. I really don't know. What else? Would you like some of the clothes that I've worn, like the dress I wore on Bethany? What about an evening with Tanya TKO? Oh, or maybe we can do like a fundraiser where we have a party and your donation is like a ticket to the party. You know, like how they do fundraisers and you raise money per plate or whatever. I don't know. So tell me, what would you like? And we're gonna build the studio set. Instead of waiting for someone to swoop down and save us, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put it out there. We're gonna get the show popping and cracking. We're gonna do this full time, nonstop. We're gonna go all in. We're gonna go all in. And if I could encourage anybody out there to follow their dream, I say, you know what? The last thing that you want is when you're old and gray, you be in that room alone, looking back over your life when you had the energy and you had the life force. You know, every day that you wake up is a new chance. Is a new chance for you to express yourself, or to live your life in the way that, to live your life as the expression that you want to see yourself as. You know, so every day is a new chance. And when you get old, I don't want you to sit down in a room all alone looking back on when you had the energy, when you had the time, when you had the power, the gusto to do it, that you didn't do it. So listen, it has not been easy closing TKO Skin, because you know TKO Skin was very successful, and so it has not. And there are people who rely on the product for flawless skin. And so, you know, like people who were not able to use any other thing, because my products are organic, all natural, no fillers, no additives, no preservatives, no harsh chemicals, etc. And so there are people who rely on that for healthy, wonderful skin. And so it was not easy putting that on hold to be able to concentrate full force. But closing my business taught me so much. Remember, we were talking about the layers, and I realized, gosh, I realized so much from closing my business. And I would love to bring it back out again, but bring it back out with the new lessons that I've learned, because there are ways that I could have done it. But you know, there was a portion of my heart that was broken and disgruntled because I wasn't able to, or because I wasn't pursuing the Tanya TKO show. But now look at this, TKO Skin, I'm alleviated of everything. Once I leave this space, we're gone. This is it, take a look. Well, I'll leave it, and if you want this banner back here, I'll give it to you. I'll autograph it and you can have it, right? But if I could encourage you to do anything, I'd encourage you to really feel inside of yourself and see what it is that your calling is, your dream, and pursue that. Listen, if I could do this, if I could, with all the people depending on me, with all the people telling me not to close, with the success, not knowing what I'm going to do next for money, etc., with all of that, if I could close TKO Skin to pursue my dream, you can too. You really can. Trust me. The universe will provide when you start thinking about abundance, and when you start drawing, look like this that we talked about, the wage and the penny. I'm not bargaining for pennies anymore. I'm not. I'm going, you know what, instead of going roundabout, hoping, oh, let me hope someone discovers me, go roundabout that way, I'm going straight up, straight through, right to the talk show, just like that. We're going to raise the money. We're going to get the set. Wait till you see what we build with all of us coming together. Just wait. I can't, you know what? I can't wait. I really can't wait. I can't wait to all for us all to come together and bring this dream to fruition. I can't wait. I can't wait. Hug me, hug me, hug me. I love you all so much. Oh. There's a part of me that, you know, it's so bittersweet leaving this location, you know, but I know that, yeah, I know I'm doing the right thing. So come along for the ride. We've been through so much together. You know, so that's really all I have to say. I will catch you all in the next video. I don't know when the next video will be. We'll resume the live shows as soon as I get everything situated. What I'll probably do is we'll probably have to have some walking vlogs since I'm not going to have a set anymore. So listen, I love you all very much. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Make sure you come to my website, tanyatko.com, and download the free copy of my guide. Almost 1,000 people have downloaded it since I announced it like a month ago. I don't know where. I think people are referring other people. I don't know, because it jumped up from 300 to 600, and now it's at 800, and I was like, wow. So I haven't looked. I haven't looked again, but I'm sure the numbers are continuing to grow and people are really being helped by this guide. So listen, I don't want to make the video extra long, so I got to compress this and then get it up. I love you so very much. I love you. There's no, if I could just say one last thing before I go, I'd say there's no death greater than being alive but not living. I understand and I know what it's like to have that song inside of you not be able to come out. I know, and I know how that eats away at your spirit, how it eats away at your psyche. I know what it's like to have a song trapped in your lungs and not be able to speak. That kind of reminds me of those dreams you had where you couldn't talk. I know what it's like to have the voice kept inside. I know. So listen, honey, please. I got some bad advice from an older gentleman when I was first deciding whether I should open TKO Skin or follow the Tanya TKO show. I got some really bad advice from him. And so I'm going to give you some good advice from me to you. Follow your dream. Doesn't matter what it is. Follow your dream. There's nothing, there will be nothing that will fulfill you more than following your heart's calling. And if the money is something that you want to come along with it, attract that money to you. Don't bargain for pennies. Attract that dollar to you. Listen, I love you all so much. One more hug, since I don't know when we'll see each other again. I love you. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Tanya TKO, and I am out for now. See you on a new set. Make sure you're on my mailing list so that you can get all of the Kickstarter or Indiegogo or however we're going to raise the money information, and stay up. Remember, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure you leave in the comments what it is that you would like for me to give in exchange for the donation. So just let me know. Let me know whatever it may be. Okay, whatever ideas. I'm looking for ideas so that way whatever it is I'm giving away is stuff that the people have called for. You've called for it. And if you know any good great t-shirt printers, let me know, because I really need some high quality t-shirts. Not like the cafe press iron on stuff, not like that. I need some good high quality silk screen t-shirts, or whatever process can get some high quality t-shirts made, because I got some designs in mind already. So listen, Tanya TKO, and I am out. Peace. Hello, knockouts. One last thing I wanted to say before we wrapped up and packed up the set. I wanted to give a special thank you to all of the lovebirds, all of the knockouts that came out and helped me move. We've been moving for the past week. Right now I have one friend. Hey, Letitia. Hi. Why don't you come over and say hello?
Okay, I'll come say hello for a quick second.
You have to see her skin. Her skin is flawless. No makeup. Take a look at this cutie pie. No makeup. Look at this face. Ah, look at this face.
As you can see, lots of things going on.
Okay. So I have a friend helping me now, but I wanted to thank all of the people who came by throughout the week. Come check out my Instagram and also my Facebook. I'll post up the pictures of some of the people who came by. But you know what? There's so many people I didn't get pictures of, but we were really going all in. Oh, I said I was going to show you how the floor looked before we go. I'm going to show you that. But I wanted to thank you. I am humbled. I am humbled by just the outpouring of people who came from far and wide to help lift boxes, help carry things down the stairs, help wrap things up, help in every way, in any way that they can. For the guys who lent their muscles and the girls who lent their OCD, packing things in exact order. Was that OCD or type A personality? I don't know. But making sure that all of the belts were with the belt, all of the bags were with the bags, all of the loofah were with the loofah. So thank you all so very much for coming by. And this is really just the beginning, you know, and I said this in my email on my mailing list, you know, as a middle child, sometimes it's hard for me to ask for help. And so, you know, asking for help and receiving it, you know, not just with the phone calls, but with the people who came by and the people and the spirited conversations that we had and really being able to bounce off of one another. I just thank you so much. Thank you all so much. You know who you are. You can come by and see some of the pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and come to my website for all of my links all over. But listen, one last hug and then I'm going for real this time. You will never see this set again. Next time we'll be building the set together. And listen, if there's some carpenters, electricians, lighting people out in California, holla at your girl, because I have some ideas for how I would like, you know what, I would like a TV screen behind me. So that when I go to get, you know how I'm like getting my board out and the board always falling? I would love to have like a screen behind me so that, and I have like the little bamboo board. So I write on the board and it will show up on the thing behind me so that people can take notes. And I don't have to be like, let me go get my board and then the board is collapsing. And no more of that. So if there are some electricians, some carpenters, some people who know how to do drafting, because I need to draw up a plan for a stage. And you know the lip couch that I have in my advertisements, I actually found a manufacturer that can get me that exact, or make that exact couch for me, and we're going to call it the Love Seat. And we're going to be doing so much, and I need to pay for a professional editor. So there's so much that we're going to be doing, that we're going to be raising funds for. So make sure you get on the mailing list and make sure you stay tuned. So thank you to all of the people who helped with, in so many different ways that you helped, forwarding my message, one woman sent her daughter. She sent her daughter here, and her daughter didn't even know me. So I'm like, wow. And so it's just been so much love. So listen, I love you all so much. Did we hug again? No, we didn't. We were going to give one last hug. Hug. I love you all so much. Thank you. And I will see you on the other side. Remember, tell me what it is. Remember, if you made it to the end, what is it that you would like in exchange for donation, etc. So Tiny TKO, and I am out for real this time. Peace. Okay, this is the last one, I promise. I said I was going to show the floor, and I felt bad that I did not. So I'm going to show you real quick, and then we're going to go. So, okay. Now that's it.